This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And I'm OEB Pete.
And you just glitched into the Matrix. Let me fix you. Hold on one second. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. Every once in a while, man.
OEB Pete.
And if you want to check out his channel, what do you cover on your channel, Pete?
My channel's all about modern and retro video games where they come together for fun. We cover the Amico, the Evercade, and everything in between.
Absolutely. And he's one of the channels I watch most of his videos on, so he's a good channel. So check him out.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
He's got the Chris seal of approval.
Yeah, Chris is stalking my videos constantly.
Yes,
I think he has
every
a
day.
secondary account too. Which I'm totally endorsing, by the way.
Yeah, I watch you with two accounts. You
guys
can
3
double.
times.
You can double the hours of watch time. Anyways,
I just leave to go to work every day, but before I go, I put it on your channel and just
let it roll. Let it ride.
Let it ride.
All right, so that's not why we're watching this, but definitely go subscribe. YouTube.com/OEB Pete, P-E-T-E. And today is Throwback Thursday, which most of y'all don't watch, but most of our subscriber base doesn't watch. But when I share it on subreddits, people come in and watch and then never subscribe. They're like, "You don't know what you're talking about," but that's fine.
It's fine.
So this one's about.
You want to start a flame war? Start talking retro video games.
Yes, we're gonna talk about Duck Hunt, and I'm saying that very purposefully so that it doesn't get misconstrued in the captions later as some other words that I'm not going to say on this podcast. Duck Hunt. Okay, so Duck Hunt is a 1984 light gun shooter video game developed and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System video game console. The game was first released in Japan in April 1984 and was released as a launch game for the NES in North America in October of 1985, which is why we're covering it on this podcast, with it also releasing in Europe 2 years later. Europe always gets things last, at least in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. And Pete, you're glitching again. Let me fix you.
Can you
What the
please
hell?
say that word, 2 words again together?
In Duck Hunt,
People in Europe will love that.
players use the NES Zapper, the light gun, in a combination with a CRT television to shoot ducks that appear on the screen. That's basically the whole game right there. The ducks appear 1 or 2 at a time, and the player is given 3 shots to shoot them down. The player receives points upon shooting each duck. If the player shoots the required number of ducks in a single round, the player will advance to the next round. Otherwise, the player will be receiving a game over, which I got a lot as a kid. The game initially received few reviews, but was given mild critical praise prior to the NES version. Nintendo also made a Duck Hunt game based on laser clay shooting system, released in 1976. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look that one up later. Beginning the nationwide rollout of the NES in 1986, Duck Hunt was one of several titles Nintendo included as a pack-in game with some of its releases. The initial deluxe set included Duck Hunt and Gyromite. The later action set was packaged with Duck Hunt and Super Mario Bros., which was the pack-in for the upgraded basic set. Unlike with those releases, Nintendo opted to place both games on one cartridge as opposed to having separate individual cartridges, which was an interesting choice at the time because I don't know many consoles that did that back when. The last NES release to include Duck Hunt as a pack-in title was the Power Set, which came with the Power Pad. And for that particular release, the multi-cart added World Class Track Meet as a third selectable game with Duck Hunt and Super Mario Bros. And the game was also released as a virtual console title for the Wii U in 2014, which I also picked up. And if you want to know more, you can go to wikipedia.org/duck_hunt.
How do you play it on the Wii U? Just with the Wiimote?
Yeah, the Wiimote. They've made the controls really good.
Well, you can get the adapter on the Wii.
Yeah, the light gun adapter thing.
Light gun adapter. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that came out. I didn't do any of the virtual console stuff on the Wii U or the Wii or anything digital. But I know a lot of people. I know I probably should have, because now if you own a Wii U with all those games on it, it's pretty rare, right?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull up the channel Wordle Long Plays. We use it a lot in our
nostalgia.
background.
Oh my gosh, that game, eh? Oh, so good. So I gotta ask you, Will, because you're a big fan of this. Did you play the duck game or the clay pigeon game the most?
The duck.
Yeah, of course, the duck game. You more clay
Nice.
pigeon kind of guy, Pete, or you more duck?
And I
guy?
played them all. I played them all. The clay pigeon I found a little bit more challenging, so I enjoyed that. But yeah, duck hunt.
I didn't have a choice because it was my brother's console, it was my brother's game, so he always wanted to play Duck Hunt. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this game is like nostalgia overload. I think this game is like I was saying before we got on air. I think most people won't admit it, but this was the game I probably played the most on the NES over Mario.
Oh, definitely.
Like everybody remembers Mario, and nobody gives the love to Duck Hunt. I mean, Duck Hunt, man.
Well, that's
the
because
game.
Mario
That's the jam.
survived every console generation. Duck Hunt, as soon as you hit an HD television, people stop trying to get this game because for the longest time before the Wii and the Wii U, there wasn't a good way to emulate a light gun.
Yeah.
And for those
I just think they got to fix that, right? I know Polymega is fixing it. They're going to have a light gun with their system, and I'm going to get my Duck Hunt out just for that. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
it'll never work the same way though. You know how light guns work, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So for those that
With
don't
light.
know,
No,
so I can actually explain this as an electrical engineer. I can explain this one for you guys. It has to do with like a photoelectric sensor. So essentially, what happens is when the screen, like you can watch it here because the refresh rate's really good. But essentially, when you hit fire, a white dot appears where the duck is, right? And the light gun essentially is looking for where you aim it a white light, right? So on an old CRT television, it's looking for that flash, and on a CRT television it works because it's got the cathode ray tubes. On a LCD screen, that light is not reflected the same way out of the TV like on a CRT is, and so the light gun can never find it.
That is awesome. That's the more you know. That's like. So when you say what Polymega is doing with their system, which will easily be able to play Nintendo games, why wouldn't it work or work the same in your opinion? Obviously, outside of technology,
They're doing.
Will it not feel the same to me? Will it not feel like the same action?
No, it should work. If they do it right, it should feel just fine. The thing that they're probably doing is they're probably overdoing the white dot on the screen. I really don't know a lot about how they're planning to emulate that.
Oh, okay.
But if they
I
have,
don't think yeah.
either they're doing that or they have some way with a gyroscope to figure out where they're. So are they doing their own light gun or using the original light gun? Because the original light gun will never
their
work.
own. They're creating their own.
So that's
Right,
it. So like the Wii U has its own, gun play with the motion controls,
Motion sensor bar,
and the
right?
sensor bar. And,
It would just be like the Big Buck Hunter, the one you can plug into the TV. So it's essentially like the Wii Motion thing. That's how it works.
You
So-
should check out what the Polymega team is doing, Chris. You being an electrical engineer, I'd be interested to know what you can find out about it.
Yeah, I could look
Because
into
it's a
it.
big deal. Everybody who's heard about it was like, "Holy crap! How are they doing that?" Because we want light guns games. Light gun games are amazing. Duck Hunt is amazing. I want to play the new version of Duck Hunt on my big 65-inch TV.
You could emulate a light gun. It would just be kind of, at least when they first started moving to HD TVs, there was no good way to do it because it would be very expensive and nobody's going to pay an extra $100 for a light gun for the Wii U or the Wii that works with an old game. Like, it's probably not going to happen. But now the technology is getting better and it's getting cheaper. So what you could do is have it'd be like essentially a color sensor. It'd be searching for the color instead of searching for the light. And based on that, you could probably emulate Duck Hunt, but it would require some software on top of the original game. That's my best guess. But photoelectric sensors have gotten far better, so maybe they are just using a modern light gun. I really don't know. But yeah, so that's the whole point. It was looking for that white light that would flash really quickly where the duck was. And because of that, when you move to an LCD or a HD screen that's flat, it doesn't have the same way. The light doesn't come out the same way, and that's why it doesn't
How
work.
is this guy capturing it here on the video then?
Well, he's probably capturing it to a CRT. I think it said in the beginning he was outputting to it. So it's not... He's capturing it on his computer, but he's playing it on a CRT. So he's just outputting it twice, essentially.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Because I don't remember the white box.
You
when
can
I
see
played
it clearly,
here.
though, right?
Yeah, you can, but I don't remember that on my CRT.
Well, if you're not looking for it, you'll never see it. Now that I've told you it's
Oh.
there, you probably
Dang,
see it.
Now I cannot see it, thanks.
I know,
You've
right?
Just ruined my
You
childhood.
ruined the whole game. Yeah.
Yeah, my child is ruined now. It's just a big white box.
But anyways, yeah. So, what do you guys think of the light guns and how they kind of disappeared for so many years? Like, is that one of your favorite aspects of this game? Is the light gun, or?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Absolutely.
If I was just pushing into a button, this game would be terrible. But the fact that I got the orange, like, to aim the orange gun was awesome.
I miss light gun games so much. The ones that came out on oh my gosh, what are they called? I have it in my game room. Did I move that box? It's a police game, like where it came out on the Sega systems.
Oh,
my gosh.
Virtual Cop?
Yeah, Virtua Cop games, yeah, and then there was another Temco or Konami had a series too. I love those games. Those games are amazing. And then the Walking Dead or the Night of the Living Dead games, those zombie games, they're all super fun. I miss shooting games. I really do. I go to arcades now and I find a shooting game, like the Terminator shooting game.
Mm-hmm.
I love that game, that old arcade cabinet. And I wish I could play those style games where you're on rails and all you're doing is shooting at home with your light guns. Those games are so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played at Dave & Buster's the Halo game yet?
I played it at an arcade here, and we don't have Dave & Buster's in Canada. So, but we have like arcades up here, like our kind of more big romper rooms and stuff like that. But I played the Halo game. Halo game's fantastic.
It is. I love it.
I wish it was cheaper so I could buy it.
I bought the PlayStation VR for that Farpoint game, where you get the PlayStation VR, the rifle, and you put the controller in it. And it's not quite a light gun, but I just love that fact. And then I realized I got really stomach sick playing VR, so I don't play it anymore. Like, oh, alien! Oh God!
Do you think that if Nintendo remade this game on the Switch, it would sell?
If they sold the light gun and it worked properly, to your points that you made earlier, yeah, I would buy it. I'd buy it 100%. I'd buy it. I would have a blast with that. I don't know if a duck hunt in today's climate killing birds will work.
I don't know. I mean, they're virtual. They're like Cabela's games still sell.
I guess, yeah.
No one cares.
Cabela games still sell big time. So,
that's true.
Yeah, absolutely. It would do great. I mean, they'd probably put more emphasis on the non-bird shooting, like the clay pigeon shooting and other mythical beasts perhaps or something like that. You know what I mean? They'd probably have a different spin on it, but they'd probably still have ducks.
It's just like it's gonna be Dragon Hunt now. Like what?
I'd be down for that. I'd buy 2 copies. Yeah. I love Dragon games.
See, like Puff the Magic Dragon. Like what? I can't shoot that thing.
Be like, oh, that's not a real bird, sweetie. That's a stuffy. Child.
Anyway, is there anything else you guys want to say about Duck Hunt?
No, I love the game, man. So much nostalgia, like playing with my brothers and just so much fun.
This would be a great game for streaming.
Yeah, I used to try to explain to my dad when I was a kid. I was like 12 years old, 11 years old. He goes, "Why are you shooting the screen? What's going on here? Why are you the guy shooting the screen?" I'm like, "Well, I'm shooting ducks." "No, you're not."
You're just like, just don't shoot the screen, okay? I don't want the screen to buy a new TV.
I have a real gun.
Anyway, as always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And I'm OEB Pete.
And we will see you
on next CHRILLCAST. Later, guys.